What's going on, guys? Austin Zabak here with another YouTube video, and today we're going to be talking about what I believe to be the best real estate brokerage in the United States. For those of you that are brand new to my channel, I actually got into real estate when I was 18 years old, and I actually got into wholesaling real estate, okay? If you're not familiar, that is essentially where you're actually getting a property under contract with the seller, and then you're turning around and you're flipping the contract to a cash buyer. And that evolved over the years, and I actually ended up eventually getting my real estate license, and then I ended up going ahead and starting a traditional real estate team. When I joined, I was actually with a phenomenal brokerage that took care of me very well. I knew the owners very well, and it was just an incredible experience. And I was actually an agent with them for over 6 years until last year I finally decided to make the change to a brand new real estate brokerage. Now, over the last 7 or 8 years, I've actually done a little over 2,000 real estate transactions. About 200 of those were traditional retail transactions, and then 1,800 of them were off-market real estate deals. And they were wholesale deals, they were flips, we bought some rental properties, and we've really just done a lot of real estate transactions. And fast forward to today, I actually have about 20 real estate agents on my traditional real estate team. And then I've got about another 20 or 30 people that work in my real estate investing business. So that's just a little bit of background on me, but we're gonna go ahead and dive into what I believe the best brokerage is in the US, and I'm gonna really break it down for you. So if you're a brand new real estate agent looking to find a good brokerage and you're not exactly sure where to go, or you're not exactly sure, what you should be looking for when choosing a real estate brokerage, we're gonna dive into that. And maybe you're already an agent and you're with a different brokerage right now, and you've seen, different things about the brokerage I'm about to talk about, then my goal is just to kind of break it down for you so you understand why I decided to make the change to the brokerage I'm with now. And maybe it gives you a little bit of insight. Maybe you can get a little bit of value from the video. So I'm really gonna do the best I can to break it all down for you and keep it very simple, okay? So if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you would smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the video. So one of the biggest reasons that I actually decided to make the move to the brand new brokerage that I'm with, and by the way, I am now with Exp Realty, okay? Now, you've probably heard a lot about Exp. You've probably seen, people posting statistics about it, and maybe if you're watching the video right now, you've heard bad things about the brokerage. So I'm gonna try to stay very neutral and just tell you, why I believe it is obviously a phenomenal brokerage, okay? So one of the biggest reasons that I joined was the collaboration aspect of the brokerage, okay? So again, I'm gonna try not to trash talk any other brokerage, because I do believe that a lot of the other brokerages in the US are very good brokerages, and every brokerage obviously has, pros and they have cons, okay? So understand that, I'm gonna try not to be biased on that, but I will say that most traditional brokerages don't really have the collaboration aspect to the brokerage. And what I mean by that is that most team leaders and brokers and, high producing real estate agents that are doing, 10 million in production a year, 20 million, 50 million, 100 million or more, they're not really going out of their way to open their playbook and share the secrets that got them to where they're at with other real estate teams and real estate agents, because it does not benefit them to do that, right? So why would they want to open their playbook and share it with other people if those very people are their competition in the marketplace? And there's no financial benefit to them to sharing those secrets, okay? So again, a lot of the other traditional brokerages that I've seen out there, right, and even the one that I was with before, it was very difficult for me to look and say, okay, how do I go from doing 30 million a year in production to 50 million, to 100 million, to, $1 billion a year in production eventually, right, as I scale my team and things of that nature. So, when I looked at the Exp model, it was the polar opposite, where they created a platform that would actually incentivize everybody in the company to want to have everybody and help everybody actually succeed, right? It actually benefited them financially to have other people succeed at a high level. Another thing that EXP actually has to offer is called Workplace by Facebook. Now, this actually allows you to go in, you can talk to different agents all around the country, all around the world. You can interact with different people, you can make posts, there's people that are giving away referrals. You've got all these different groups. You even have things like Express Offers, which is kind of like an iBuyer program. And there's just so much unique collaboration, right? And depending on the organization that you join, when you join EXP, you'll probably even have multiple other Facebook groups that you can be a part of and different trainings and things like that. And then also, different masterminds and different events that are constantly happening all the time, right? I know that our organization personally is constantly doing masterminds and collaborations literally on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis, okay? And a lot of them are all around the country, right? We went to, a bunch of cool like vineyards last year. We went to Dallas, they went to Cabo this year. There are so many different cool things that they're constantly doing. So again, the collaboration aspect is absolutely massive. So there are so many ways that EXP has, collaboration going on every single day, right? They've got a ton of live training every day, okay? So you can actually go in and you can scroll, okay? And you can look at all of the live training that EXP has to offer every day. And I wanna say they're currently doing like 50 to 80 hours of live training every single week, okay? Now that is obviously insane, right? There's top agents that are doing the live trainings. There's top real estate teams. There's anybody and everybody doing live training on a daily or weekly basis at the brokerage level, which is incredible, right? And again, you can actually go into EXP World, which we're going to talk about here in just a minute, a little bit more about. I was actually driving around in a boat earlier this morning, and I'll show you that. But it's actually really, really cool. It's like a metaverse, okay? And you can actually, you have your little avatar, and you can walk around, and you can actually attend trainings and classes in EXP World and collaborate with the best of the best in the business. So not only can you attend trainings by agents and people letting your local market, but remember, you're attending trainings and events by agents and teams all over the country and even all over the world, right? So you're actually learning from people in different markets, which I think is really cool because sometimes we get really laser focused as an agent in our own market, right? Say you live in Ohio or you live in Phoenix or you live in, New Mexico or California or Florida or wherever, but you want to know what other people are doing in different markets. This will actually allow you to see what they're doing, right? And to see their playbook and to succeed at a higher level. Actually, last year, somebody in our organization, okay, actually hired Tony Robbins to come to Dallas, Texas, and we actually went there and we attended a 3-day big seminar, and Tony Robbins actually came in. Now, it costed obviously a lot of money to get Tony there, and that is just one example of, collaborating with the best of the best. I'm sitting at dinner with people that are doing billions of dollars a year in production, and I didn't have to pay them to sit at that table, right? And I think traditionally, when we look at the traditional brokerage model, we got to pay a bunch of money to hire a mentor or a coach. Guys like Tom Ferry or whoever traditionally you would hire, you no longer have to be out of pocket to hire those people to have you go or to help you go from where you're at to where you want to go. The second biggest reason that I believe that they're the best brokerage is the technology, okay? They are by far the most technological, advanced brokerage that I've ever seen, okay? So they have a ton of amazing technology like EXP World, which is basically the EXP metaverse, okay? Which is really cool actually, and they're developing it, and I'm sure it will only get better and better. And it's not something that I saw at any other brokerage, okay? Again, you actually have an avatar, you can run around, that's how you go to meetings, that's how you meet people, it's how you talk to your brokers. If you need broker support, you can walk in, literally Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, and you can actually talk to a broker, you can talk to people, you can talk to the accounting department, or really whatever department it is that you need to talk to, okay? Which I believe is really, really cool. And again, they're way ahead of the game, right? Our CEO, Glenn Stanford, he actually created that, probably about a decade ago. And now you're obviously seeing the whole world kind of adapting to the metaverse. So they're definitely way ahead in the real estate industry. Because I remember a mentor telling me a long time ago, like, Austin, traditionally, the real estate industry as a whole, they're really behind by about a decade of every other industry. When you look at the automobile industry, the insurance industry, all the other industries out there, in terms of, technology and just the way that we do things, when you look at even like the MLS, which is the multiple listing service that you have access to as a real estate agent, a lot of times it's clunky, it doesn't work that well, or whatever the case is. And so real estate's typically about 10 years behind, right? But what I noticed with EXP is they're probably about 10 years ahead, which is actually a really cool reason that I think they're going to be a massive, massive brokerage. And again, they are already a massive, massive brokerage. If you're watching the video, they're huge, right? At the time of making the video, I think they're almost to 80,000 real estate agents, worldwide, right? And they're a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ, right? So there is no more arguing, whether or not they're the real deal, they're a real brokerage, they're legit, whatever. They're a huge brokerage, right? You can buy stock in the company, and they are a massive brokerage. So from a technology standpoint, I think they're way ahead of the game. There are so many different things that you can do technology-wise within this brokerage. So another big reason that I joined EXP, and I believe they're the best brokerage, is the fact that they're publicly traded, right? They actually have a stock, and the ticker symbol is actually EXPI. And you can go look it up right now, and I think right now at the time of making the video, it's trading at like $26 or $27 a share, okay? Now, obviously, EXPI is not EXP Realty, but instead it's actually EXP Holdings. Now, they own Verbello, which actually powers EXP World, and they own some other stuff as well. They actually own Success Magazine. If you didn't hear, EXP actually went and bought Success Magazine, okay? So there's a lot of different things that EXP Holdings is going to continue to acquire, and they have other partners as well. So, really now, agents, when you're out doing what it is that you do best and that I do best, and we're selling real estate and we're helping other people sell real estate, we are getting incentivized by getting stock in the company, right? So now we're able to build long-term wealth, potentially, if that's something you're interested in, and then at the end of the day, you have interest in the company, right? So you want to see the company succeed. So now we've got, all of these agents that want to see the company succeed. And so, when I started to look at things like that, and I looked at the other competitors in the industry, this is not something that I was able to find with any other competitor in the industry. And again, when I joined EXP, I actually said no, okay? So for those of you that don't know, I actually turned them down in 2018, I turned them down in 2019, in 2020, and I finally joined in 2021, okay? So, I wasn't like the guy that like jumped ship at my old brokerage and came over to EXP, right? It actually took me a really long time to move over, and I do believe that it was a phenomenal decision, okay? So the company stock is obviously a huge thing, and you can do your own research obviously on it and look more into it, but there's a lot of different ways that you can actually earn stock in the company, okay? And I really do believe that that is a phenomenal way to incentivize the agents within the brokerage to want to see the company do well and to help actually grow and scale that brokerage. One of the things that I actually signed up for right when I became an agent with EXP was what they call the 5% program. I think there's an actual name for the program, but basically when you are actually out closing real estate deals, they'll take 5% of your commission check before you actually get paid, and they'll actually buy EXPI stock at a 10% discount of whatever it's trading at that time, which I think is actually really cool, right? It is a way that agents that are out selling real estate, highly productive real estate agents, can start to basically build, an actual, call it a retirement plan, right? Call it a savings, call it, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's actually a really cool way to incentivize them. So you're buying the stock at a discount, doing what it is that you would already be doing anyways. And again, if you believe in the brokerage and you believe in the future potential growth of that brokerage, then obviously you're going to be bullish on the company, which therefore now you own a bunch of stock in that company. Some people, obviously, they look at EXP and they look at the cap, right? There's obviously a cap at the brokerage. But again, you need to understand there's a lot of ways to get that cap back in the form of stock, in the form of money, in the form of different things, okay? And again, I'll let you do your own research on this, but if you're a highly productive agent, then understand that you have to do the math on the brokerage. I think one of the things was when I joined the brokerage was, initially like those years where I said no, I never really did the math. I never really understood like, why are people moving, right? It's just like everybody's talking about it, but there's obviously a catch. They're just trying to recruit me or whatever the thing might be. but there's actually a bunch of really cool incentives and things that it doesn't cost you as much money as you think, right? And I was that guy. So if you're watching the video and you're that guy or you're that girl, then you need to understand that it is 100% possible to actually save money by going to EXP, okay? And I think a lot of people just assume it's going to cost them a bunch of money, and you honestly couldn't be further from the truth if you're a productive agent and you play your cards right, because there's just so much different opportunity that I don't believe a lot of people are taking into consideration, including myself, when I said no a ton of times. So another big reason that I believe that EXP will be the biggest brokerage and the best brokerage in the world is the fact that they offer the revenue share to the agent. Now, if you know Keller Williams or you know Gary Keller, they are obviously a phenomenal brokerage, right? They've been around forever. Gary Keller is an incredibly intelligent human being that created what they called profit share, right? And back in the day, it was essentially the same thing as EXP. The only difference is that EXP is a cloud-based brokerage, right? So they don't have a bunch of actual office space, they don't have printers, they don't have all this stuff and a bunch of overhead, right? So they're actually able to pay the real estate agents revenue share off the top instead of profit share off the bottom, right? Instead of net, it's actually gross, okay? So the agents can actually make a lot more money. And I think it was brilliant when Gary Keller designed it, but again, I think that Glenn Stanford took it to the next level and he really created a program or a platform where agents can win at a much higher level. Right now, not only are you making money selling real estate, but you're also going to make money by attracting other real estate agents that are like-minded and that see the same vision as you. Now, when you teach them and help them and coach them go sell more real estate, everybody's now making more money. And you're not making money one way, but now you're making money multiple different ways. And if you're an entrepreneur or you're a business person, then you've probably even maybe seen my other videos where I talk about having multiple streams of income, right? So why not have multiple streams of income inside of one thing that you're doing, right? Instead of going elsewhere to get another stream of income, Glenn Stanford created a platform where you could have multiple streams of income within one single business model, which I think is really lucrative and really unique. I'm not going to dive too much into the revenue share or the stock because I obviously want you to do your own research, and those weren't the primary reasons that I joined, and they weren't the primary reasons that make me think that they're the best brokerage on the planet. However, every little pillar of the company is just kind of another thing that makes me really look at the model and think, this is obviously going to be the future, okay? So another thing that I will bring up is they have what they call Exp Agent Healthcare, right? And I'm not going to pretend like I know a ton about healthcare, so before you blow up my comments and you tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, right? I'll tell you, just go do your own research. What I can tell you for sure is that I know quite a few people that have been on different healthcare, platforms, and they've come over to EXP. Them and their family have gotten on the healthcare. I believe it is an open network, and they've actually saved a lot of money and have had very good health care, okay? So that is another benefit. Again, we have so many agents that are on the healthcare that it's able to probably drive that cost down and actually, still get good health care. So I think that's obviously really important for a lot of people. Again, I'm not going to dive too much into that subject, but you should definitely check it out, and it is on their website, okay? So definitely look into that. And obviously, you're getting all the tools and resources that you would get at any other brokerage, right? You get KV Core, which is a CRM that every agent gets when joining EXP, where you can have a front-end website. You've got the back-end CRM. You can make different funnels. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. You can actually run ads. There's a thing called Making It Rain, where you can do Facebook ads, you can do Instagram ads, you can do Google ads. There's a lot of different ways that you can actually kind of be in charge of your own, ads, of your own marketing, of everything that you want to do, right? And so there's all these different options on the back end of what you can do within EXP, within, KV Core, and within all the infrastructure that they've built. And a lot of it is just as simple as the click of a button, right? You have a listing, you want to promote it, you click a button, and it goes ahead and it actually links up with your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever it might be. And with a click of a couple of buttons and maybe writing, a description or whatever it is that you need to write, you are now, generating more business for yourself. And again, these are just a couple of the benefits of being with EXP. So I think when you look at the brokerage as a whole, right, and you look at all the different pillars that a brokerage has to offer, typically you join a brokerage because you want to get business cards, right? You want to get open house signs. You want to get, a website. Maybe you want a transaction coordinator or whatever it might be, right? But with EXP, you're getting so much more than that, okay? So I think those are all, reasons that I believe it's the best brokerage on the planet. Now, also, I will add towards the end of the video, if you're still watching, if you're a team leader somewhere, I do believe that running a team with EXP is significantly more simple and more easy. I've run a team with one other brokerage, but I've run the team multiple different ways, and it was very difficult with the other brokerages, okay? Because you have, for a lot of different reasons, and I'll keep it simple in the video, but agents, again, they join your team for a set of reasons, right? They want lead generation, business cards, open house signs, whatever they want, and then they leave because they eventually think they can go make more money elsewhere or whatever it might be. And that's fine and dandy, but once they're gone if you're at a traditional brokerage, right? There's really nothing you can do. So therefore, the team leader is kind of operating in a scarcity mindset, and the agent believes they're operating in this kind of abundance mindset. The team leader doesn't want them to leave, the agent does want to leave, and that's kind of the end of the relationship. And that's pretty common, right? With EXP, I do believe that, again, the collaboration aspect, we have a saying where we say, collaboration over competition, right? And it's like the idea that, I want everybody to succeed at the highest level possible, right? So if an agent joins my team and a year later they want to go start their own team, then it's actually in my best interest to help them do just that, because there's still this financial benefit to both of us if I help them win, right? And at the end of the day, business is business, right? So, we can say like, oh, you should just help people and blah, blah, blah. And look, I help everybody, right? I'm constantly providing value to people for free. I never expect anything in return regardless. But definitely when you're making money, it does make it easier because we all only have so much time in the day, right? So you can't help everybody if you're not making money, right? Especially in the real world, we only have 24 hours in the day. So understand, when you're out there helping people now and you're getting paid to do that, you're not as much thinking to yourself like, oh my gosh, I never want people to leave my team, but now you can actually support them in doing so. So again, there's all of these different reasons that a lot of people don't think about when looking at the brokerage. And I'll be honest again, these are a lot of the things that I didn't think about when I continuously said no to the brokerage. So again, do your own research. But what I will say is that, look, when deciding to join a brokerage, you've got to look at every brokerage with an open mind, right? You have to look at every brokerage and you've got to look at every pillar of the brokerage, right? What am I looking for? What do I need from a brokerage, right? What do I need from a team? What matters to me, right? Not what matters to that guy or that girl, but what matters to me and what matters to you. And depending on what matters to you, you will then be able to pick a brokerage that is best suitable for you, okay? So understand that, every brokerage out there, there's pros and there's cons. And I'm certainly not talking bad about any other brokerage, okay? I just happen to believe that based on all of my knowledge, right, and all of the deals I've ever done, and all of the real estate agents that I know, I believe that any agent is probably going to eventually be better off with EXP. That is just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. That is what I believe. It doesn't matter if you're a luxury agent, if you're a new agent, if you run a massive team, or if you're brand new to the business, okay? It doesn't matter. I believe everybody can succeed at a very high level with this brokerage, okay? So again, my name is Austin Zabak. If you watch the video, I try to keep the video pretty simple, pretty vague. I can obviously make more videos if you want me to. If you watch to the very end, I really appreciate you. Definitely, if you haven't already, make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Also, drop in the comment sections below if there's anything I missed, anything I didn't cover, anything you want me to cover, any questions you have, and I will definitely make more videos on the topic. I appreciate you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.